Mother-in-law is helping my BF's ex-mistress. Backstory, my boyfriend and I started dating in college. After officially being a couple, we decided to work together along with his mother 40F. My relationship with his mother was good. I was a bit shy, but nonetheless the relationship was good. We stopped working and I found a new job on my own, while they continued the same job together as mother and son. After about 1 year of us being together, I noticed he started acting distant. He stopped answering my texts on his break time and many other things that led me to believe he was doing things behind my back. I confronted him many times and he denied doing anything. Things continued like that for 6 months. He often cancelled plans and would blame it on his parents asking for favors or his disabled brother. One night I asked him to hang out and he said he had plans with friends, so I just decided to study. In the middle of my study session I get a phone call from my sister saying she just saw my BF at a movie theater with another woman and that my BF and my sister made eye contact. I call him and he clears things up saying it was a group outing and that the girl was his friend's cousin. I don't believe him and I go to the movie theater and he's gone. The next day we meet and I break things off, but he convinces me to trust him and believe him. We take a break of about a month. We get back together, but I was never quite convinced of him being loyal. I decided to move on. Things are great for the next 2 months. And as I'm working I see an ex-co-worker of the job I had when I worked with my BF and mother-in-law. I decided to say hello and he asks if my boyfriend is still dating a certain girl. I get confused and confront him asking him what he's talking about, then he realizes he talked too much and that I had no idea of what he was talking about and runs off. I go into shock because I had never heard of the name he mentioned. I leave work immediately and find the name of the girl in my boyfriend's following list. I text my BF who is. He doesn't answer but instead shows up outside my job panicking and saying that the guy that told me that is setting him up and that he never had anything with the girl. I don't believe him and make him take me to his house and let me check his cell phone. He lets me and there is nothing. He tries to convince me that he's getting set up by the guy and that his mother would clear things up. I talked to my BF's mother and she convinced me that my BF is being set up by the ex-co-worker out of jealousy. I stay the night with a plan to go through his phone and find the girl's socials. I do and go home. The next day I message the girl and she confesses everything. She said that they dated for 6 months, he brought her to his parents' house, they have gatherings, his mother-in-law knew about her and they became close. He would alternate weekends. But she never had any clue of me aside from me being his ex. She also said that after 6 months he ghosted her and that she was left without closure. I completely believe her. My BF said that he ghosted her because he regretted hurting me and doing everything he did, that he didn't want to lose me, so he stopped talking to her. I found out 5 months after he ghosted her. I was furious. For 6 months he cheated comfortably, his parents knew and allowed her to come into their home, formed a relationship with her knowing I was the official girlfriend and would visit every week was hurtful. Understand they can't control what he does, but for them to be shady themselves was surprising. And for them to conversate with me and act like everything was normal. The hurt I experienced was like no other. I felt so betrayed. We broke up, but it turned into a break. We got back together after 4 months of being on a break. After we got back together we were great. We admitted things, we cried, we healed. We both changed so much for the better. I moved into my in-laws' home with my BF. Things were great. I learned to forgive. After 3 years of living there I felt part of the family. Now about a week ago I got home while my BF was at work. My mother-in-law calls me to the living room to talk. She starts sweating and getting nervous and admits that she doesn't know how to tell me. She goes on to tell me that the girl my BF cheated on me with recently lost her father and that the next day they were going to walk around the neighborhood collecting funds and doing a food sale to raise money to help her. And that she wanted to tell me in case I found out. I was shocked. I didn't know how to react. I got emotional and could barely hold my tears back, tears of confusion. I felt sad for the girl because she lost her father and I'm sure she isn't doing well. But I couldn't help and feel hurt, remembering the past. I never ever thought I would have to hear the girl's name again. My mother-in-law knows how much the situation hurt me. I don't understand why she had to bring this close to home. I find the situation disrespectful. My BF agrees with me but they don't. My BF aunt even got involved and came over to help. I feel like the girl is their preferred choice for my BF and that's why they have favoritism towards her. They even sat in the living room, my in-laws and my BF's uncle and aunt, to talk about the girl while I was in the room next door. Listening to how highly they spoke about her hurt. To me it's clear I'm not who they want for him. My boyfriend got mad and interrupted them and told them to stop talking about it. Now they are mad at my BF and I don't know what to do. I tried saying good morning for the past 2 days and they give me side eye or completely ignore me and my BF. What do I do? Comment. It's weird that they kept in contact with this girl 3 years after your boyfriend's side relationship with her, supposedly, ended. Given that his family likes to cover up for him, this would make me strongly question if things ever really ended. This dude cheated on you for months on end, had his family lying out of their teeth for him, and then he gaslit the hell out of you trying to convince you that somebody was trying to set him up and ruin your relationship. It's okay if you decide you want to nope out of all this bullshit and move on. You're only 23, and have devoted years to this hot mess. No way would I stick around and subject myself to a family who treated me the way you have been treated. So your boyfriend is a piece of garbage and you are mad at your mother-in-law for caring about someone's bad situation instead of breaking up with your terrible awful horrible person of a boyfriend. Got it? Nobody cares, break up with him and leave his poor mom alone. I feel sympathy for you, I really do, but in the end you allowed this to be. I cannot understand why you not only chose to stay with him, but then moved into the house with these people who betrayed you. So honestly, you should not be shocked by how they are. It's the same behavior they showed you 3 years ago, this is not new. If you want to be mad at your boyfriend, who cheated on you, and at yourself for staying with him. Best of luck. Well, that girl didn't even know she was an affair partner for your BF. Your BF is a liar and a cheater, but I guess he has changed. Thing is, that this girl isn't guilty. If anything, your BF is. Still, I agree that they shouldn't discuss her with you around. It is fine to be selfish and to not want this girl anywhere near your life. This matter will either go away by itself, or it will continue. This statement is obvious, but the point is, you should consider the possibility of things getting even worse in that regard. Therefore you should consider what to do in such case, or rather where to move out of their house. You are not only in a relationship with a shitty person, but living with shitty people. You need to make a plan to be able to live on your own, and build your own support network of local friends. What in the world? You moved in with them 3 years ago when you were 20, after a year dating and a breakup and him cheating, so, you started dating him at 18-19 and somehow were already out of college and working at 19 or 20. None of this math is working. Anyway. Dump him and move out, problem solved. Next story 2. I want to get back with my ex but my family will hate me for it. I've known this person for around 3 years and dated them for 2 of those years. A few months ago, my sister and my now ex had a huge verbal fight which led to their whole friend group getting separate. I got thrown into the middle of the chaos and had to choose one person to trust. I obviously went to my sister's side, but for about a month now I've been regretting. My ex was always so nice to me. Made me handmade gifts, always messaged me, genuinely cared. So her being accused of some pretty bad things, mostly gossip, especially of me after her going through the breakup, made me really have second thoughts. 2 weeks ago I met with my ex. We had a serious and mature talk about the situation and apologized to one another about everything immature that we did. She apologized about the fight that happened with my sister and she admitted to being in the wrong. Keep in mind that my ex got really upset about the breakup, so she used to insult me with her friends and my sister ID in the same class as her, so she sometimes heard the insults. Anyway, after talking, I told my parents about it. They were not happy about it, whatsoever. There was a huge discussion and because of it, my sister found out. This led to her basically hating me because she had my back and I betrayed her. I trust and love my sister, but I was honestly happy in that relationship until my family got in between it. I feel like I should be in control of my own relationship, not them. They want what's best for me, but how will I know what's best for me if I never fall? So now I'm thinking of talking to them again, but this time, I will tell them that it's my decision, not theirs, and if something were to go wrong, I will own up to it. I will still love my family like always, but I feel it's best to separate my now ex from my family, so they don't hear about her, and she won't hear about them. Any advice? We have everything in common and she's one of the only people that I know that speaks English like me, so it's fun to have someone that knows English culture and I can relate to her. So, will it be best for me eventually to agree with my family even though I don't want to, since they never saw the loving side she gave me? Comment. It can be tough when your family and personal relationships clash. Ultimately, it's your decision who you choose to be in a relationship with. However, it's worth considering why your family is against it and listening to their concerns. Sometimes an outside perspective can help you see things you may have missed. It's important to have open and honest conversations with both your family and your ex to understand everyone's feelings and find a solution that works best for you. If I understand correctly, after breakup your ex was actively insulting you and your sister out loud while your sister was in said class. Do I need to explain to you while it is a really bad sign and basically confirmation that your sister was telling you the truth earlier? Based on how your family had a long discussion with you about how they feel and why, it's safe to say if you go back and date her again or keep conversing with her it will have a lasting scar on your relationship with your family. Your sister is already not speaking with you just from one conversation you had with the ex. She heard the insults straight from her mouth about you and your sister while sitting in class with the ex and her friends. It's safe to say your sister had your back up until you went banging your family's back to have a conversation with her. You're 18 years old, you're so young, trust me, there will be others you will connect with in your future. I guess you have to ask yourself, is continuing to speak and see your ex or possibly have a relationship again worth the long-lasting scar/impact it will have on your relationships with your family?